I'm Boom.
And I'm the Man of Steel. Just kidding, I'm BW.
Well, then I'm Red Lantern. And this is Grizzly Conversations. All right, Man of Steel. What do you got for us? What's newsworthy in
Speaking
DC?
of Man of Steel, the buzz has come out about
Hold
the
on.
new...
By the way, smooth segue.
Yeah.
Gave you a segue that you were like, I'm going to triple it again with Man of Steel. Here we go.
Of course. It's all about Superman. Which is why I want to see his character treated the way it should be. And I got a feeling that, it's not going to happen in this new Justice League movie.
What do you mean?
Well, I really want to see... No, I understand that they'll have to put him... all the buzz is about him being in this black suit. Which, of course, did happen in the comic book series and, of course, in the animated film. He did have the black suit when he came back. I understand that.
And some people look good in black.
Yes.
Oh.
I would really like to see a movie, and, of course, we'll see what happens in the Man of Steel, the Superman sequel. But I really would like to see his character treated properly. And what I mean by that is, so far, and I guess, and really in an efforts to make him more relatable, more realistic, they've kind of made Superman kind of a burden, like they don't know exactly how to put his character in the real world, starting with the Man of Steel, and even in the Batman versus Superman movie, I felt like, or even in the Suicide Squad, when they were mentioning, like, what if Superman decided to rip off the roof of the White House? Well, Superman wouldn't do that. He's not a...
But that was, somebody pointed out that that's kind of a reference to, perhaps, to one of the Superman films, where 3 Supermen came out of the sky, ripped off the dome of the White House, went inside and took the president.
True, but...
So in their history, yes, it has happened. A Superman has done that.
But a Kryptonian has done that, not Superman. But
and think about it this way: the people in the comic books that are saying these things, they don't have a comic book telling them what Superman's true inhibitions are and what he's really thinking about. They don't know his history. They're looking at him as, I'm a senator or a president or whoever. And there's this dude that has the potential to destroy everyone. And we've only seen him a couple of times, and he may do an interview here or there. But other than that, we don't know where he lives. We don't know who he really is. We don't know where he came from. I get their concern. Yes.
I do get their concern. I mean, again, if you're living in that world, yes, aliens came to this planet. Look at all the destruction they did. He was part of this group. What else is he capable of? I can understand it from their perspective. But when you look at, even in the films, everything that he's done, all the heroic things, what else does he have to do for them to start, maybe this guy might be, on our side,
People change, though. I don't know. I don't think that there's a whole lot of controversy coming, at least from my standpoint. Black costume or no... Black costume's good. We haven't seen it in a movie yet. It's been in the comics. It's a famous costume. It's not like some obscure one-off at the end of a comic where they're like, what happened? Oh, God, he's got a black costume, and we never see it again. It's not a symbiote costume or anything. He wore that costume for a good while. I like that they're going there because it shows that they're evolving the character. They're not going to just have him be the constant goody-goody, because he wasn't always the goody-goody. He had real men's issues. He had depression and anger and anxiety and worry and doubt.
And I understand that, but he was always the guy that was going to do the right thing. The guy that was going to, truth, justice, the American way. I know they denounced his American citizenship, but even then, I would have liked to seen him a little bit lighter in these previous movies, and then go dark, with the black suit and everything, I don't think they've done the character his true justice.
I don't think they've done any DC character true justice so far.
Well, that is true. Well, I thought, yeah, no.
Nobody has been perfect yet.
Nobody.
Now, Deadpool Very, very close to perfect, but that's not DC.
That's not DC, no. I thought, well, no, I guess even in the Christian Bale trilogy, that those had some flaws, but
Nothing about the Christian Bale trilogy was dead on to the comics.
well, not to the comics, but yeah.
Well, what else is it supposed to be? To the imagination of every child? Like, yes, the comics come first.
I have these high expectations, because I like these characters. I love the DC characters.
Everyone.
And I go and I see the movies, and I want them to match what's on the. It's frustrating when they. Well, and I understand they need to change things for movie purposes, to make it more cinematic. But at the same time, I think when you start totally just revamping the character, trying to take him in a whole other direction, I think it takes away from what made that character popular, and then you just kind of you destroy any kind of relation that the moviegoer had with that character. So.
Say that last line, but without all the uhs. So that when I edit it together, it's very fluid.
I'm trying to think of. Okay, so I think that when you go in and change the character to try and make it more relatable, you lose part of what that character. Can't even talk right today. I think when you go in and try to change that character to make it more relatable, you lose part of what made it popular, the character. And then you put it up on screen, and that kind of interferes somewhat with the relationship of the moviegoer. The moviegoer is seeing this and thinking that, oh, this character is dark and gritty, when that character wasn't dark and gritty. And in the back of your mind is like, well, is this character really a hero? What's going on here? So.
All right. I get where you're coming from, but I don't agree. We don't agree much.
We don't agree. That? Well, that's not a good. I mean, that's not a bad thing.
No, I mean, I guess it's like 3-stage lighting, which we now have again. Yay, us! We kind of fill in the shadows, I guess, that would normally be cast by one light. So
there you go. I always say great conversation is when two people have opposite views, because then you can have debate.
I grew up thinking great conversation is just when people agree with me wholeheartedly and let me run the show. That's how I was. I grew up an only child, so I'm used to just we're doing this now. This is what we're doing. It's only child syndrome.
I grew up with 2 younger brothers, and we never agreed. So we always had a compromise. But that wasn't always a bad thing. So
you had one other piece of Batman news.
Oh yes, yeah.
Not super. I'm already out. I'll tell you that. But go ahead.
It appears that Adam West, Burt Ward, which to fans of Batman would know that played 1960s Batman and Robin in the TV series. They are apparently DC is trying to launch a animation film, either an animation film or a series, with them as the voice actors of Batman and Robin. So,
is it going to be campy, or is it going to be another branch out of the 64 tree, or is it?
I don't think so.
Or 67. Which year was it? 64 or 67?
Oh, I want to say it was 66 to 69.
67 sounds right. We'll say it's 67. So is it a branch out of 67 Batman? Is it going to be ridiculous and they're going to anti-shark spray and big round bombs with hoses coming out the end that are on fire? Or?
I don't think so. I think it's not going to be as dark as the animation series. I think it's supposed to be like a lighter version of that.
So a bad version. Okay.
Not a bad version. I just think, it'd be an interesting... I mean, they're already taking the character dark as it could go. Why not try it on the other side, and see what...
Yeah, I guess. I don't like happy. Like certain people don't.
You just don't like happy. You just don't happy-go-lucky.
Certain people aren't supposed to be happy. If they were supposed to be happy, they would have been in like a manga with a bunch of high school kids playing tennis and yata. But
it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be bad all the time. I mean, it's. I understand. Batman, Bruce Wayne. I mean, he's had a dark history. I mean, his parents were murdered.
It's hard.
He's
How do you get to dancing in a discotheque as part of a mission from your parents were murdered and you're hot on the heels of other people that are murdering people? Go. And then you're gonna go start dancing. Like I don't think it matches the character. Now there's other characters that would fit with, I'm sure, but not the good ones. That's all I'm saying.
Not the good ones.
Not Hal Jordan. Not Bruce Wayne. Those are not happy people.
They're not. But I feel like if you make them depressed all the time, like eventually they're just gonna snap, and they won't.
And they do. They totally snap. And that makes an interesting series.
That makes it interesting. Well, then then what makes them heroes? What these are
coming
supposed to
back
be
from the snap.
Coming back from the snap.
Look, okay, Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan snapped, became parallax multiple times. Everybody loves it when he becomes parallax and then comes back to being Hal Jordan. He can't be cool as Hal Jordan without having to come back to Hal Jordan. He needs something that's going to throw him out there and distract him and pull him out of his ways so that it's more of a relief. It feels like you're at home when he finally snaps out of it and gets back into the green.
So you're saying it's the redemption that makes them. Oh,
just think about how boring would it be if they were just always happy or I mean,
I'm not saying always happy, but not always dark. It's like
I think them going super dark allows their normal darkness to be bright. This day, darkest night. I wish I had a ring right now. Only thing I've got this week is I finished Game of Thrones. I binged watched it. I got through 60 hours of Game of Thrones. I don't remember all of it. I think I fell asleep through some parts because there's sometimes like I'm really big into the theories right now of who is this character really, who's their father, and who are these people, and what do you think about this? There's a lot of faces that they'll show on these videos online and Reddits and things where I don't even remember them being in the film or the show. But overall, I really liked it. I'm super addicted now. It kind of had the same pacing as Breaking Bad as far as first season was here. Second season and third season were kind of eh. Then fourth season got really good. Then fifth season was like, yeah, now we're getting somewhere. And sixth season just nailed it into the wall. I loved the sixth season. So much cool stuff happened. And a lot of people haven't seen the sixth season for some reason. Even the people that watch it that I've run into, they say, well, the last thing I saw was the last episode of season 5. Well, get on it, because cool stuff happens in season 6. The season 6 is where it really feels like it's coming together. The first few seasons, it feels like they're just scattering seeds out there. And like, oh, there's a guy named Boromir Frahirian, and there's a guy over in the Targaryen realm of the Forhirians and Bulgarians, and you got all these weird names that you'll never remember, and there's like 60 characters that you're trying to follow, and it's insane. But by season 6, most of the people are dead. At least the bad people. Some of the good people too. But it kind of goes together and it starts weaving and you start to see that, okay, well, at least my favorite characters are still alive. I don't know who liked Hodor or whoever, but like my biggest one is Arya Stark. She's the youngest daughter of the first king that you see.
I haven't seen any of them.
She's a little girl that's a tomboy, and she's awesome at doing fighting and stuff like that. And nobody knows she's alive. Like, the family gets split up in the first season. Spoilers. The family gets split up. The dad dies, and nobody knows really who is where. And she is treated like a boy. Her hair is cut off, and she's sent to like a boys' camp. And from there, her story keeps evolving, where she learns new skills, and she keeps building this list of people that she's going to murder when she gets older. And the list, over time, she starts taking them out. And the list gets shorter. But really cool character. I've heard that Game of Thrones is going to end bleakly. He said it will not be a fairy tale happy ending for sure. He said, quote, bittersweet. I'm hoping that means that Ara survives. I don't care if everybody else dies. I think one of the characters, his name is Lord Baelish. He's kind of everywhere. They nicknamed him Littlefinger. I think he will end up being the king in charge of everything at the end of the show. And I'm hoping that him and Ara are the only ones left and everybody else dies. I think that'd be fitting.
So are they planning on ending it?
Yes.
The next season, or
they're going to end it on season 8, and it's always been 10 episodes per season. But this season, they said they're running out of material because they've actually beaten the book on pace. So season 7 will be 7 episodes, and I'm guessing that means season 8 will be probably 7 episodes or 6 episodes, something like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool because I really want to read the last book that came out. I'm not a huge reader. I'm just not. I've read books that I enjoyed, but I'm just not super into it. I will read the last book that came out because that's where the book wasn't out yet. The director, producer, writers, they didn't know which direction to go. The author of the book pretty much said, hey, I'm starting on A and I'm ending on M. And they said, okay, we'll try to figure out a way to get to M because he hadn't written it yet. So they made their own path. He made his own path. They went completely different. And then they kind of matched up at M. And from what I've understood, the TV show has gone a little bit past the book. So now they're hoping that another book is being written or whatever. They're pretty much on their own though at this point. They can. Mm-hmm. He's told them how he wants to end the whole thing. So they're just trying to figure out how they want to get there and how to make it the best show possible.
Mm-hmm. So why not? I guess my question would be, if it is, obviously it's very popular. Obviously they've proven, or at least in the short term, that they can go a little bit beyond what the book is. Why not continue on? Just see how far they could go without the book.
Well, I have heard a rumor that I don't know if it's a book thing or a TV show thing. It'd be awesome if it was at least the TV show thing. But I have heard a rumor that they're going to go back into the history of the show. Because 300 years before when the show starts, there was a huge war. So I've heard a rumor that they're going to just leave this story where it's at, episode 4 through 6, and go back and do episode 1 through 3, basically. And tell you about how the history happened and why everybody got to where they were. And I'd be okay with that, but I mean, you're going to have to really, really come up with some cool characters that people like. Because this show, the way they have it right now, there's tons of characters that people like. And there's some characters that everybody likes. The dwarf actor, what is his name? I keep wanting to say Peter Mayhew, but I don't even know who that is. I know his fake name. I know Tyrion Lannister. He'll always be Tyrion Lannister to me. I don't care what he plays. He was an elf. He was in Pixels.
I just remember him in...
D. Starts with a D. Derringer? No, that's just a short pistol. That would be my nickname for this guy. Peter Dinklage. Dinklage? Tyrion Lannister. Everybody seems to like Tyrion Lannister. He's this drunkard. He kind of gave up on humanity, but he can make some really cool speeches. He's a horror befriender. I don't know what he is a connoisseur of the rented flesh. We'll say that.
Okay.
He's just this messed up character that seems so depressing, but over time, really crazy things happen in his presence, and he keeps getting involved with the right people, and he has a lot of one-liners, and the closer you get to the end of season 6, it's just like he's just really funny. He's an ass, and everybody likes him because he's an ass to the people that no one likes. His sister is the queen for the most of the time, and nobody likes his sister. And so when he gets in there and he starts calling her a whore and all this other stuff, you start laughing because nobody else has the guts to do it. He's the only one that can do it. There are some... He's one of the big characters, one of the big few characters that everybody seems to like. I've not heard anybody say, no, I don't like Peter Dinklage. Dickory Dock. I don't know.
We're going to have to look that up. So
I want to call him Derringer. I want to meet him in person one day and be like, hey, man, I'm going to call you Derringer. Watch Game of Thrones.
I'll have to get on that.
If you're a reader, read it. Because apparently the book... There I go again. This last week I keep saying apparently it goes really, really fast, and apparently...
I had someone that phoned me the other day, and they were like, "What the heck is it with that apparently? Apparently, there hasn't been people that have seen that video. That's apparently so."
Okay, so apparently is a video on YouTube where they did songify it and put it to music. There's this little redhead kid at a fair. They're trying to interview multiple kids, and he kind of steals the show and steals the mic, and he just starts talking, and he has this really weird way of talking. That's just his thing. And he keeps saying apparently. So, what did you think of the fair? And he's, apparently, I had a really good time, and apparently this thing spins you around, and apparently, and he just keeps saying apparently and talking the most adult he can, and it comes out very goofy. But then they songified it. There's apparently, it's catchy.
It is. I laughed.
I like it. I really liked the one, once I showed him that video, we started looking at all the other songifies. And I think one of my favorites now is, "The roof is on fire."
Oh, yes. I can't believe you hadn't seen that one, though.
No, she's so animated. Seems like it was actually a music video.
Yep.
So, good times. Good times are here.
Oh, YouTube videos.
We love you, YouTube. Why don't you love us? Why don't you get on this gravy train? Speaking of gravy train,
how do we go to apparently to gravy trains?
There is a product out there with my real name, and it's called we'll say Boom's Hot Brown Gravy.
Wow.
I saw it in a store, and I flipped out, and I almost bought it. But, so yeah, that exists.
Wow.
On that note, that brings us to
the Grizzly Review.
So we actually have like 4 reviews we're going to do today. And part of it's due to one of the viewers, Mary. Thank you very much. This first review is on Surge. That's right, people. Dreams come true. We asked somebody to get us some Surge. It happened. So yeah, this is Surge. And we're probably going to be kind of sipping on this while we do the movie review, which is Don't Breathe. I don't know why that name is so hard for me to grab onto. Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe.
Well, my first impressions of this is the same font and coloration that you would see on like the Reptar cereals and Rugrats. Very Rugratty. I wonder if this was like a Nickelodeon pushed product when it first came out. With other natural flavors. Have you had one of these yet?
I have not. This will be not since
the 90s. Yep. All right. So let's see. Smells like oranges, kind of. Well, that's different. It almost has so much going on in it. It's like drinking your first beer. You're supposed to like it, but maybe you don't all the way. You have to grow into it. I mean, you taste citrus.
You do taste the citrus.
It seems like there's less carbonation than most sodas.
Yes. I'm trying to think back too. when I tried it when I was younger.
I'm not getting pulled back at all.
No.
Didn't they say that this was a new formula?
Mm-hmm. I had brought that up. That's what I had heard, that this is supposed to be a... supposed to be a new formula.
Carob bean gum. That must be the flavor that we're enjoying. Less than 1% juice of what? What juice is in here?
Of citrus and other natural flavors.
Citric acid. All right, well, this is a Coca-Cola product. Last time we did a Pepsi product, so we're keeping it even. We're not, favoritism. I don't know.
I'm not. I mean, I was hoping that like I said, I would taste it, and all those childhood memories come rushing back. I'm trying it. It's just not. It's not the same. It's not the same. I do every now and then kind of get a hint of that surgeness.
You're making stuff up.
I'm not making stuff up. It's.
I can almost remember tasting it, but it tastes so close to Mountain Dew and Mellow Yellow.
I remember it being a lot more carbonated than this. I don't know, maybe that was just me, but
I don't remember. It's very hard for me. But yeah, it's not very carbonated. It's kind of like drinking juice mixed with a soda. Like if you got a Sprite and you watered it down a little bit with something.
Yeah. It doesn't taste...
We have got to work on a rating scale for our food products because we can't rent it. Last time it was, would you drink it often? I don't know. I would say no. That would just be the quick.
Would you drink this often? No.
I would. Okay, I'll say this. If you like trying new things, as I do, go out and grab your just one can, and let it get really chilled, and taste it, and you don't even have to finish it. I will finish it out of respect to Mary. Thank you, Mary. But I would say I will not buy this. This will not be sitting in my fridge.
I will not buy this regularly. Maybe once in a blue moon,
Just to keep it around?
Just to keep it around. Just to keep the nostalgia. Nostalgia purposes. So.
It's kind of tasting worse now. The more I taste it, it tastes worse. It's getting more of an artificial flavoring. Southern Georgia. He's from Georgia.
Is the Colonel in? What's wrong with you? I say he did.
Oh yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? I went with Robin Hood Men in Tights, and you went to Family Guy, and I couldn't find you.
Whoa! I thought we were doing accents. That's why I was like,
Don't breathe.
Don't breathe.
Right off the bat, short summary. What did you think of it?
I thought it was okay.
Acceptable.
It was watchable.
Yeah.
I watched it and was entertained to a degree.
We're gonna have to.
Absurd! It's coming back.
We're gonna have to just start if everything that we test is carbonated garbage, we're going to have to just get used to burps through the.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to get my not only bring the drinks but bring like my Alka-Seltzer or something. Just...
Does that keep you from burping?
Actually, no. I think it makes you burp more. So.
Bring it. I'm all for that.
But Don't Breathe. I don't know why they call it Don't Breathe. It should have been like Don't Make Any Sound or...
I was calling it Don't Make a Sound, but I think there's another horror film called Don't Make a Sound with demons or something, so maybe that's why they couldn't go with it. But yeah, it's acceptable. I like the movie. Right off the bat, I'd like to say buy it. Well, No, I can't. The more I think about it, it has to be rented.
I would say rent it. I mean, it's definitely something, especially with Halloween coming up. You just every time you drink that, you just got that.
It's like beer lemon soda.
Wow, I don't.
It just has a weird funk in there, but it's gonna go down. I'm gonna drink it all. Okay, I actually, whenever firearms come out in a movie, I tend to count the rounds because I like going aha to a movie that has, let's say, a 7-in-1 carry capacity for ammunition, and they fire 47 times out of it without reloading. I like to just, I don't know, I'm picky about that. I did that with this movie. That is the only thing that they got right was the amount of ammo in the firearms and doing a good job of keeping them reloaded and showing that they were reloading and not just, he fired 12 shots out of this 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
So, but
they didn't go Arnold Schwarzenegger on it and fire 300 rounds out of a Glock. You know, it's like
that was the only thing that was like I have a BS list. A BS list. We're gonna try to. I'm trying to edit myself a little more for this show, but my BS list is mighty. It's 2 pages of order card from the Alamo, and it covers a lot of spoilers. So I won't go into it just quite yet. But it seemed like the attention to detail was missing from this movie. Lots of Deus Ex Machinas, just whenever the plot was like, well, we need 30 more minutes. How do we do that? Make this guy not kill this guy. Oh, okay, that works. And then we've got another 5 minutes. And how do we keep from cops hearing about this? Another Deus Ex Machina right there. I enjoyed it, but I could not stop looking at all the crazy things that were happening in this film.
Yeah, I would say the details definitely weren't there. But the overall feeling, just choke it down. Just choke it down. There you go. Just here we go. Like, I'm gonna chug this.
I just got done telling people about all the gay references in the last episode, and then you go adding to them. Good job.
Well, I wasn't the one that brought out the Vaseline and the glove, and I mean the show is Grizzly Conversations. All right. I mean it's.
I was just talking to people like, look. We went pretty far without any gay references or jokes, and then the last episode it just flowed out of us.
I mean, they're gonna come. They're just they're gonna.
Are they?
That's gonna. Oh my gosh.
All right.
We just have to accept it. It just has to. But anyway,
derailed.
Back to Don't Breathe. Like I said, I felt like the details they were missing, but the overall, like I was, there was tense moments. There was moments where the fear was real. So you definitely, like I said, you could definitely watch it and be entertained.
Which character were you feeling the fear through? Like who are you feeling it for?
I felt more relatable to. I forgot his character's name. The one, spoiler alert. His father is the part of the security company, and he has the keys everywhere to the master locks, and because I definitely
the main white character essentially out of the three. There's 4 characters essentially in this movie.
Right.
There's the old man, but you would know that from the trailer. And then there's the 3 younger adults. So the main male character, what would that be? Supporting character?
I guess I would call him the supporting character because I feel like the main character would the girl, the one that got away, But
well, thanks for that.
Spoiler! I said spoilers. Okay, I'm sorry.
So you identified with the white guy.
Yes. Identified with the white guy.
I identified with the blind man until like 80% of the way through the film. Anybody that knows me knows I hate noise with a passion. I can hear everything, and it bugs the tar out of me. So a movie where a guy hears everything and was hunting people down that were in his house and trying to rob them and do them wrong, that got me. I thought this was going to be something I could live my...
Well, no, I mean, like on the fear part. Now, of course, I was wanting to root for the old man, you know, the guy that was getting robbed, because yeah, that sucks. You know, nobody wants to get robbed. He's not harming anyone, you know. And then you have these 3 obnoxious kids, young adults,
idiots.
Yes, like idiots.
They do a good job of making you want to see these 3 people get killed.
Yes.
Early on in the film. You're just like, oh, we think he has $300,000. We could retire forever. Are you serious? Come on. Like, criminals, I think, know better. That was like Trailer Park Boy dumb. You know, let's yeah. We need to finish some Surge. I feel the caffeine in the Surge.
Mm-hmm.
And it may be just because I was dehydrated, but...
Oh, okay.
It's starting to taste worse, isn't it?
It's, yeah. Especially...
Okay. We're derailing.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I definitely was rooting for the old man. I mean, because, like I said, I didn't want to see him get robbed. You know, like you said, until about 80% of the movie, towards the end.
The jump scare? Was that where you lost him?
the jump scare? No, it was like the... where did I lose him at?
Because mine was instantaneously the jump scare in the basement. They reveal something about the character that you would have never guessed and shouldn't have been in the movie to begin with. And during the jump scare, my brain just flipped through like, what is that? Is that this? Is that this? Oh no, that's this.
Well, even then, when it was revealed that the spoiler alert, that
let's not get into spoilers just yet.
Well, I have to do it to make this point. Okay. It was not at that point. Is when I.
So it's before or after my...
It was after. I was still rooting for the old man even after that point a little bit. And I'll explain why here in a little bit when we get into the spoilers. So.
All right, fine. Spoilers.
But I could relate to the fear. I could relate to the fear of that guy, you know, who had the keys, whatever. Because I felt like not only was he fearing for his life, he was fearing for that other chick, and didn't know what that old man was capable of, you know. So I felt like that was real, you know.
I could not give 2 pence of what those 3 kids were going through. I was completely against them. They were in the wrong the entire time. The only things that they gave me that I reacted to were situations. There were just cringy situations. There were just moments where there was supposed to be a lot of suspense build up. And it was more stressful to me because, like, inside I was thinking, why would you let yourself go into that situation to begin with? If I was in a house with a guy with a gun who was blind, I would not do certain, I don't know. It just kind of lost me on certain aspects. But let's go ahead and spoil the hell out of this thing.
Okay.
Go. Just get all the spoilage out.
All the spoilage. Oh, okay, spoilers. Let me explain why I was rooting for the old man right up until like the end. Because I mean, even after it was revealed that he had that woman tied up in the basement, you know, which apparently the woman was the girl that had ran over.
It's such a long, stretched out story. The blind guy had a daughter. She was about college age. She was hit by a car by another college age girl. He kidnaps the college age girl somehow and puts her in a fort made of pillows and cushions and handcuffs in the basement.
Right. But at this point, he has her just tied up. Like, it hasn't revealed what's he done to her or anything. He just has her tied up. Okay, I can understand that. Hey, this girl killed her daughter. She got away with it. You know, I could somewhat understand that. So
that a blind guy could go out into the world and kidnap a college girl, and the police would never suspect him and think about going to his house and asking him, you know, that girl that murdered your daughter, she's actually missing. Has she been by your house? As you know.
Well, I kind of feel like the police wouldn't be able to suspect him because, again, he's blind. Like, who would suspect that this guy was capable of...
A detective worth his weight? Like...
You have to suspend your disbelief. See, just...
I had to suspend my disbelief more for this movie than Dragon Ball the movie.
Than Dragon Ball.
I could more easily believe that someone could throw a key ball out of their hand than some of the things that happen in this film.
But at least on that, I mean, you know. But I guess, yeah, up until the end when it was revealed that she was actually pregnant, like he impregnated her.
With a turkey baster.
With a turkey baster, yeah. Then at that point, it was like, no, this guy needs...
And, you know... Okay, yeah. It's hard for me to hold it all in, man. It's...
Yeah, it's... I know you got your list ready. You're just...
Yeah, okay, so this is the BS list. This is what I wrote in the darkness with one hand on the table as I watched this film. Starting off, handcuff key. Someone gets handcuffed midway through the film, and they have a set of keys in their hands, and not one of the keys was a handcuff key. They used a regular old key to open handcuffs, and these kids are stupid. Like, they've never even been around a firearm before that you can tell, and they even have a conversation about, you've never even fired a gun, and everybody's super scared that this guy has a gun. Okay, so handcuff key. Handcuffs opened with regular key by someone that's never messed with handcuffs before. Angry entry. Okay, like, this is the biggest thing the problem I have with the movie. The Deus Ex Machina, like, this guy is supposed to be hunting them with his senses. It's supposed to be a battle of the senses. He's supposed to be, you know, hearing things and smelling things and tasting things, all these things that get him closer to defending himself. The first half of the movie, you can't tell that he's even got senses at all because he can't hear all this stuff going on. He can't smell stuff going on. The first thing he should have heard, they say that it's 2 a.m., They put their cigarettes out. They go to the side of the house, and this guy lives in a section of Detroit where it's abandoned blocks in every direction.
Yeah.
His dog is chained outside, which also I don't buy. An old lonely man that's blind is going to have an animal. Why wouldn't it be its companion, like inside the house? It's chained on the outside of the house. The dog starts barking. It starts barking. He doesn't wake up to the sound of the dog barking in a place where the dog would not be barking because nobody goes in that part of town. The dumbest of the three criminals. He tries to open a lock on the outside of the house, and he screams obscenities because he can't get in. The guy would have heard that. Let's see. Locks, sound, smell. Okay. There's a scene where they're all in the house. The old man finally wakes up. This is after some ridiculous stuff with, like, they go into his room. They gas him with some makeshift tear gas thing out of a plastic Coke bottle, and they make all this noise, and he finally wakes up, and he listens. He can't hear anything. Turns his TV off, so now there's less distraction for his ears, and lays back down in bed. Within seconds of him laying back down, the dumbest of the three pulls the pin out. You hear the plastic bottle crinkle. Then you hear from the gas coming out of the bottle. He puts it on the floor, and as he leaves, you can actually hear the door click shut. How does the blind guy not hear that? Seriously, like, they didn't activate his powers until later. There's a hallway where they're standing in, and these people just smoked a cigarette. He walks past them and never smells anything different in his house. Now, you bring people into my house that don't smoke, and I can usually smell the difference. Their colognes, their shampoos. I'm not even blind Deus Ex Machina killer guy. I'm just aware that, wait, someone... Did you bring a girl home? Okay, that's what I thought. It smells like a girl over there. So the smell. This is a long list, but it feels good to get it out. It's like squeezing pus out of a wound. It's nice. The girl in the basement, stupid. That is stupid. How does he get a fully functional college girl kidnapped and bring her back to the house, all while blind? He doesn't own a vehicle, so did he just drag her through the streets of Detroit, miles and miles, all the way to his house? That didn't make sense. Let's see. I started counting shells. All the ammo, guns, firearms, everything. That was accurate. Okay. There's a point where they're on the second floor of the house. The dog is after him. The old man's after him. They barricade themselves in a room on the corner of the house with 2 windows. This is Detroit, so he has bars over all his windows. The characters just state out loud,
there's no way out. Yeah.
There's no way out. The bars are over the windows. There's no way out. Okay, so homegirl decides that she's going to open up the ventilation system and crawl through that, which is the biggest air conditioning vent ever created by man. It's so huge, and it's okay, so that's right there, a giant AC vent. And then the guy that she was with, he gets attacked by the dog and goes through a window with no bars on it. So, did the bars not exist? I mean, I don't know. They just didn't pay attention to that. And that was all for this setup of another scene where he's laying on that glass thing or whatever. Where are we at? Sound of Death. Yes, okay. Old man fighting. This is a veteran of a war. He's killed people. He's got medals, all that stuff. He thinks he stabs one of the kids. He actually stabs a sleeping bag that was rolled up.
Well, was it the sleeping bag, or was it that other kid that he had killed earlier?
It was a sleeping bag.
Because where did he drag that other kid that he had killed? Spoilers. He kills one of them right off the bat. The dumbest one of all.
I think he was still in the living room. I don't think he dragged him too
I
far.
thought he had dragged him and put him in that room.
No, he was putting a bag over his head, and that's when their cell phone vibrated, and he pulled up his gun, and he was listening to see where they were, seeing where he would point. And then when he picked up the body again, that's when the cell phone vibrated, and he shot at the cell phone. But he never actually drug it anywhere. And I think he was going to try to drag it to the basement, because he was standing right in front of the basement door. But when I saw it, it looked like a sleeping bag, a rolled-up sleeping bag. So this guy that's killed people stabs a sleeping bag, and he can't tell the difference between it and a human body. If you had a fork and you stabbed a steak on your plate, and someone tried to trick you and put a cushion on your plate, you would feel the difference between meat and a cushion. He didn't. He should know that the body makes certain sounds when you kill. So if he stabs someone in the guts, you should hear feces and air releasing through the wounds, things like that. If you stabbed him in the lungs, you should hear some gurgling. There's different things that come with it. He stabbed this thing, and silence feels like a cushion. He must be dead, and goes and leaves. In that same fight, I have it written over here somewhere. Okay, in that same fight, the old man gets the upper hand after fighting with a shovel and all this stuff. He gets the upper hand on this guy. And he gets him in a rear chokehold, and the guy's turning purple, and he's trying to reach for a gun, and the guy's not having it. And for no reason at all, he lets go of the chokehold. This is after he's already killed at least one person in the house. Grabs him and just throws him up against the wall. Why? Why wouldn't he just choke him or break his neck or whatever? Because the story wouldn't be long enough. Like, that's the only reason. Later on, I put dogs only bite faces. The girl is running from his dog. She gets into a car. She tries to trap the dog in the car, and then it kind of works, kind of doesn't. The dog is on a leash thing, and it's stuck to the trunk, but it's just enough room for him to be like this close to her face and chomping and barking and stuff, and she's just scared and sitting here. She's facing him in a sitting position in a car. Dogs don't attack legs anymore, arms. The only thing that they're attacking is right here in the face, the only thing that he couldn't reach at that point. I was irritated. Then when the old man catches up to her in the car with the dog, and the dog is his companion, They leave the dog in the car tied up, and he didn't. I'm telling you, man. And I liked this movie. I mean, somewhat. So this isn't me just tearing it apart. I liked it better than Suicide Squad. But, you know, I was looking forward to this for a lot longer than Suicide Squad. I had higher expectations. Almost done. The police are called. The alarm is set off, and an officer comes to check up on the house. The officer comes speeding around the corner with sirens and lights going. That is not how they check up on a security system alarm. They stroll up to the house quietly and check on what's going on. Check on what's going out. They knock on the door. They check the windows. It's not like a bank robbery. So that was inaccurate. They leave it open for a sequel. They show the girl steal the guy's money, the reason why they were there. Her and her daughter in like an airport or a coffee shop or something. And she sees a news report about there was a guy that was robbed by 2 people. He defended himself and killed the 2 people. He did not report anything missing. What does that mean? What kind of clever insight were they adding to nothing was reported missing? That he was going to keep it a secret so he could hunt her down somehow with his blindness, and later on Deus Ex Machina smell, where he can smell their shoes from across the room, and it was, I don't know. So they left it open for a sequel. It didn't make any sense. But seeing that sequel open up, seeing that there were police at his house with ambulances, they were going through his house to see what happened. The basement with the dead woman at the bottom with the handcuffs and the, like, he would be going to prison forever. You can't have a dead body of some woman who is actually tied. When they identify the body, they'll find out she's the woman that ran over his daughter. It's so frustrating, man. It's like, no, they made it sound like, well, this old man's going to be treated for his wounds and he's going to return home. No, the hell he ain't. Because they're going to find so many dead bodies and things in there. And all these things that don't add up to his story. So, yeah. That was... I'm done.
So, you're done with your movie.
I feel good. That was like counseling right there.
Let me ask you this. Does a movie have to get everything 100% right?
Absolutely, yes. Because you're paying people millions of dollars to get details right, to make it acceptable. It needs to... Yes, it does. Because there's people like me that will watch it and notice, like, wait a minute, he was going 85 miles an hour in first gear? No, that's wrong.
So why don't... I mean, like, I understand that, because I understand wanting to see things accurate. I too want to see them pay attention to details. But at the same time, it's a movie. It's a movie. I mean, you gotta suspend some disbelief. Like,
what if you were reading a book, a really well-written book, but they kept misspelling words all through the book? Like, it wasn't ever proofread, and some of the words are stuck together. Would that not irritate you?
Yes, but it wouldn't irritate me to the degree where I couldn't finish the book.
Well, I finished the movie. I stayed till the end. Like I said, I actually kind of enjoyed this film. I like the idea of the film the most. I enjoyed 70% of the film itself up until the chick in the basement and the semen turkey baster, which was... That in itself was stupid because he was going to rape them with a turkey baster to stick his semen in their bellies. And... That's like a really simplified way of saying it, but he didn't consider that rape.
No, he didn't.
But that would be rape.
That would be, yes.
And I thought when he pulled the semen out of the freezer, I knew what the heck it was. Like, I've never frozen.
Oh yeah.
I've never frozen semen before, but I imagined that's frozen semen right there. I thought he was going to have syringes and maybe feel for her belly button and kind of position his hands over her belly when she was handcuffed. And then figure out where to inject the semen. But I think the turkey baster was just there to be crude and to give women the creeps. I think that's the only purpose of it that it had, besides the what happened afterwards, which I think was just for women viewers. I don't think that was.
We'll leave that untold there. Just people to go see this movie and
We'll leave you a little something to imagine.
Exactly.
Something happens.
Something happens to this guy. Yeah.
It's really not what you would think hearing it like that. If I was watching this review right now, covered in Cheeto dust and whatever our viewers look like out there, I would imagine that he's going to get it stuck into him, and that's not what happens at all.
Nope.
So, yeah. Rent it.
Rent it.
Rent
it. Yep.
Yeah. Any other things you want to cover in that? Any things you liked? Any things you didn't like? Usually I'll throw like 3 things you like.
No, I mean, it's interesting. I guess this is the second film from the creators that did the Evil Dead remake. I guess this is their second film in the United States, or is it?
I don't know. I just know that they made the remake of Evil Dead.
Well, I mean, it's interesting to see how they're going along the horror genre. It's interesting to see what else they... Because I like the Evil Dead remake. I enjoyed it. Would have liked to seen them continue on.
Most metal scene in a movie ever. It's raining blood and someone has a chainsaw hand and fire is exploding everywhere and you're chainsawing a demon.
Yeah.
Metal. Of
course. I mean, but... You know, I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed this one, despite its flaws. I don't know. It'd just be interesting to see if they're going to continue along with the horror genre, or if they branch out into other...
I wouldn't even consider this horror. I'd consider it a thriller at most.
Thriller, yeah.
Now, at first, during the jump scare, where it revealed that there was a girl in the basement, for just like a hair of a second, I thought that was a ghost. Because I couldn't see the chains at first. I just saw darkness and I could see, oh, they're setting up for a jump scare. Because everybody's all the way over here. Mm-hmm. Like, they really telegraph their jump scares in this film. But I just saw a woman blur towards the screen and was like, now it's about ghosts? And then I reverted and was like, oh, no, she's wearing chains. Oh, no, that's the girl that he... Never mind. Like, that's when I was disappointed with the film. But I did enjoy him hunting them through the house and them trying to be quiet, and the coolest part should have been longer. It was the Silence of the Lambs scene when he shuts off the lights in the basement and they're completely blinded. And
yeah, I did enjoy those scenes down there. So, but yeah, overall,
your phone is vibrating.
It is.
We can't go through a review without a phone making a noise. Thingamajigger from the Future Man times.
Thingamajigger.
Well, we actually have 2 reviews. More to do. 3 reviews, technically. That's the end of the movie review. But while I was shopping, I was in a grocery store. I noticed there's a few products that I hadn't tried yet, and why not put them on the show? We were waiting on Serge. We lucked out with Serge. Thank you, Maria. Mary. Ave Marie. What do we got down there?
We got some, looks like some chips.
Open chips.
The open best chips, kind. Yeah. Apparently somebody's been... Somebody's been munching down on the...
I tried them. I'm not going to lie. I tried them beforehand. Because we weren't expecting to eat them actually as a review before. But.
So we got grilled brats and sweet corn.
It's from a weird company that I've just now started noticing. Boulder Canyon Authentic Foods. I don't know who all has them. I will definitely try them again with you. I already have my opinions. I want you to give all your opinions before I say a word.
All my opinions, okay.
Try that one first.
I will try the grilled brats first.
And then give me one, because I'm fat and I want there's some food in front of me.
I'm gonna take a few.
Just look like one. Oh, that's good. There you go.
Okay. So let's see here.
Name the first food that comes to your mind.
First food. Well, I don't get the brat. No, I do. Now I do. I don't know. They taste a lot like barbecue Lays to me.
That is the incorrect answer. No.
That is the incorrect.
I could barely taste any kind of extra flavor. At first, it just tastes like potato chip. It actually tastes like ramen noodle to me. Like someone got a beef or pork ramen noodle, and that's what you're tasting. It's just like a lot of noodly pasta nonsense. Now, there is a little bit of something in the background, but it's so faint, you have to like taste it while you smell at the same time to get enough.
Yeah, that's the kind of that back flavor that, is like, well, I don't even taste it. And then I kind of, yeah, I do. Yeah. Because
that's supposed to be the brat, and I don't know what, I guess it tastes like barbecue to you, but maybe you've had barbecue brats.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess.
Taste another one. See if you can, because it is such a mild chip to me.
That one was a bigger chip. I do get where you're saying the ramen, because as soon as I put that in, I do get the ramen.
See, that's why I didn't want to say anything at first, because I figured, I think if you say it tastes like lobster, people are going to be like, I can kind of taste lobster.
No, I didn't. I mean, initially I didn't get that. I don't know. I'm one of those where it tastes like something, but without a frame of reference, I can't really tell you. And then if you say, well, it tastes like this, and I'm like, it might. Or, I have to try it a couple of times, and then...
We're a good yin and yang, because I'm the opposite. I'll tell you it tastes like things that you've never tried before. It tastes like a burnt tire on a beach. Yeah, on a beach. Like, so, the grilled brat, what would you give that one? Would you buy it again, and how often would you buy it?
I probably wouldn't buy it again. Well...
Ooh, Boulder Canyon, you suck.
No, this would be something I'd buy like once in a blue moon. Like if I'm going to be having like a sandwich with a bag of chips or something, I'd probably buy something like this. But...
I don't think I'll ever buy it again. It's not sharp enough of a flavor for me to go for it. It doesn't taste enough like Lay's had the biscuits and gravy chip. Mm-hmm. It actually tasted like biscuits and gravy. That didn't quite taste like brats to me.
Yeah, I definitely didn't get the brats.
Well, Boulder Canyon has another flavor for their backyard barbecue series. This is the sweet corn kettle chip.
Sweet corn kettle chip.
You'll want a few of these. Look how yellow they are.
I was gonna say they're really yellow. They really dyed these or really infused these with.
I was thinking it'd really suck to have to choke on camera.
No, I do get the corn.
This is so much better to me.
We are yin and yang because these are worse. I mean, I get the sweet corn flavor. It is in there, but
they can see that.
I guess I just don't like the corn mixed with my chips. So
you get a strong corn flavor right off the bat. Mm-hmm. It tastes like cream corn, like canned cream corn.
Yeah.
And as it sits there, it slowly starts to become buttery.
Yes.
And towards the end, all you taste really is like a lot of butter. So it's like butter chips, corn butter chips, which is exactly what's advertised. So right on.
Yeah, I mean,
You can't. At least they got it accurate.
I was gonna say it is what it's advertised, but it's just not my taste per se.
I would not eat more than however many I'm eating today.
I wouldn't buy that. No, I would buy the brat before I bought that. So
Yin and yang, baby, yin and yang.
mm-hmm.
I would actually buy this occasionally. This wouldn't be on my house all the time, but if I was going on a road trip, I'd grab these just to have something funky on your tongue while you're driving. Something interesting. All right. One more review. What do you think it is?
Well, we've done a drink. We've done chips.
Let me get the glove.
Whoa.
Our last review is this one. Crystal Pepsi. Did you ever have this when you were younger?
No.
Another 90s item.
It scared me. It worried me too much. I was like, Crystal Pepsi.
I like the retro look to the bottle. How very bland it looks. Mm-hmm. It's like when I'd go fishing as a young boy, there'd be Doritos and Pepsi products along the lakes. And they would have these really old, bland labels on them. Because sometimes they'd be like 10 years old. And they captured that well. Looks very generic.
Very retro.
Looks like acid. We got our fancy cups.
That's right, because we are sophisticated.
We're a fancy lad. All right, go for it. Smells like Pepsi that's melted into ice. Has like ice melt in it. Almost has a liquor feel in the mouth. Like it's a mixed drink and they put too much liquor in it.
I still got the taste of the chips in my mouth, so I need a... I'm not getting the Pepsi flavor at all. I mean, to me, it's just like...
That is all I taste. It's just Pepsi.
Really? See, I don't drink Pepsi that often either, so...
Pick your teeth of the corn. Pick the corn out of your teethers. And then close your eyes and take a big ol' sip.
Those are the last words.
Pick and popping my corn out of my teethers. Tastes like if you strolled into a Pizza Hut and they gave you a soda, what it would likely taste like. It tastes a little broken apart though. There's still
like some... I'm just getting some off-brand of Pepsi. That's what it... Like if I was gonna buy a Pepsi, but it was like the generic brand, that's what I'm getting. So
it's no Pepsi 1893.
No,
for sure.
No.
It seems like broken Pepsi. It seems like I said, like Pepsi with ice melt in it.
Yes.
Like something has broken apart the recipe. It kind of has the mouthfeel of a poor mixed drink. It's syrupy, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I think that's what it is. It's syrupy and watery at the same time. And to me, it tastes just like kind of watered down Pepsi. The burps may be my new favorite part of the show. Maybe we gotta keep this up. Oh man, look at that. Okay, speaking of breaking down, we can see through the light system here.
What?
Does yours do that?
Let's see here.
There is something in my Pepsi.
Is that the...
It looks like spit. Some kind of bodily fluid was like rinsed with this Pepsi and put back into the bottle. I wish there was a way to show you this, but it's like spider webs or something. There's some kind of off-white clear stuff running through this cup.
Is that the syrup or what?
It's like the syrup is breaking down. Does yours have it too?
I didn't see it. I mean,
Hold it up to that light.
I was going to say.
You may have to hold it just below the light to really get in there.
Yeah.
It's like mega
Like
backwash.
I don't know what that is.
There's a big chunk of it in here. Dude, it's getting worse. Look at it.
Oh my gosh. That is...
Oh man, Pepsi, what are you doing?
Oh.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Guys, it looks like... Okay. If the chips cut our mouth all to heck, and we had little pieces of dead skin hanging off the roof of our mouth, and we used the Pepsi to wish away all the dead skin and spit it back into this, that's what this looks like. It almost, the thicker this stuff gets, it starts to look like long shreds of dead skin hanging in it. Gross. All right, so how often would you like your dead skin drink?
I don't think I'd ever buy this again.
Me neither.
I think this is just a...
I'm not a big fan of normal Pepsi, and just having it clear and being a throwback item doesn't make me want to buy it. And seeing this happen in my glass doesn't make me want to drink it again.
Just to let you know, there's nothing wrong with the glasses. Like, they were chilled.
They were washed.
They were washed
ahead of the show. Yeah. They were put in the freezer to be chilled, and that's it. I wonder. Hold on.
Can you see that in the...
Maybe it is just with our glasses. I don't know. Maybe the ice from the frost of the cup? It doesn't look like this has it in the bottle. Okay, so maybe I poisoned us.
Thank you.
Maybe it is dead skin off of her lips. I don't know. But either way, that's more reason not to have a clear drink so that everybody can see your dead skin and backwash in there. There's nothing in this bottle, but that's just disturbing. I don't know what to say. Okay, well.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand that to you there, so that way.
Thanks. Well,
I don't want to set it down somewhere and it spill over.
Okay. I'm tired now. I can feel it.
Feel it. You didn't feel the surge.
I felt the surge earlier. It's going on like 1 o'clock p.m. right now. And I have to go to work at 9. I have to be at work at 9. And I was a little worried that I wasn't going to fall asleep, but I'm feeling it now. Anyway, apparently, let's try not to make this a 2-hour video, because yeah. All right, it's already like an hour and a half. I can feel it. So I'm Boom.
And I'm BW.
And thanks for watching Grizzly Conversations number 5, technically now. We did hit 61 subscribers. We're pretty close to tripling our first, when we started, subscribers. That's actually something for everybody that stayed all the way to the end. Please post what video you subscribed on, because I noticed there's a lot of people that are musicians, and that makes me think it's not Grizzly Conversations, it's this contest I entered about musicianship. So let's have people post what they're actually joining for, because now I'm kind of confused. Some people some people are loyal viewers to the Grizzly, and other people, I think they're just seeing me. I mean, there's like, why would a Chinese guy or a Paraguayan that they don't speak English are going to watch a conversational piece? But
you never know.
So down below, tell us what video made you subscribe in the first place, and
we definitely appreciate
the
viewers that stayed.
It's fun. I'm down to keep doing it.
Yep.
So, if we only have 61 subscribers next week,
we'll just keep at it. We'll just keep at it so we can see those numbers go up. So.
I was gonna say kill myself in my closet. But
Wow. So again, positive. You gotta
yin
stay
and
up.
yang. You be white. I'm black. You be white.
I be white.
You be white. We should make
Ebony and ivory.
Make like a little yin yang hand gesture. I wonder if that's possible. No, that wouldn't work right. If you know how to make a yin yang symbol with your hands, post it in the comments. That's like it. That probably means something offensive in sign language.
Yeah, I was gonna say I probably just offended a lot of people out there, but
it happens. It's the internet. Anyway, I'm delirious now, and I'm kind of sick after drinking whatever we drank in that Pepsi and corn flavored butter chips. Bye.